This will show you how to move and organize files in your different folders. Let's go into our root directory. This is your main folder, and you should have your zip file. When you unzipped it, this is your uncompressed file. And then we have our file structure that you can see down here where we have our dog cat folder. Here's our graphic pet cat dog. And what we want to do is we want to take all the files from inside of dog cat, which is basically a temporary file, and we're going to put those into different folders. So let's go into dog cat, and we have a file here, a web page that will tell us if we have our files right. So one of the ways that we can copy a file is to select it, right mouse click on it, and choose copy. Now we're going to go back into our root directory. This is considered the root area, and we'll simply right mouse click it and paste it. Now notice we have a paste and a paste shortcut. The paste shortcut is like a ghost file or a dummy file that points back to our original file back on dog cat. But because this is a temporary file, we don't really want to do that now. So we just want to paste our file, and this is an exact copy of what's inside of dog cat. So if we look in dog cat, you can see we still have our HTML page there. If we go back to the root, we can see there's a copy of it right here. If we take a look at this web page, you can see that none of our images are showing, so they're not in the right place. The first thing we want to do is look at where these files should be located. So we want to get each of our path images and put those in the root. So let's go back and do that. Let's go into our File Manager, Windows Explorer. We'll go into our root directory and look into our cat dog folder. And here you can see our paths. So we're going to use our selection technique that we just learned. We'll select the first one, hold down the Shift key, select the last one, and we could right mouse click and copy all of those. Notice we're right mouse clicking on the selected area. If we right mouse click on here, we'll get options for this area. So we want to right mouse click right where we're at, and we could copy those, but let's just move those right into the root. So I'm going to click and drag and move those down into the root until it's highlighted, and then let go. Now if I look at my root directory, I'll see I have all of these, and I'm going to change this to view or list so I can get a better feel for what's happening. And if I refresh my web page by clicking on here, notice I can also hit F5, then our pictures come up. These are all set up in the root. And this will show you the different folders. Here's in the root directory, here's in the graphic folder, the pet folder, and you can see how we're going to separate all of these pictures. Now we want to put the fishbowl ping and the stick hunter ping in the root folder. So let's go back and do that. We'll go into our cat dog folder, our temporary folder, and let's look for fishbowl first. Here's fishbowl. So we're going to right mouse, copy, put it in the root, and paste. Now if you already have a file in you can either copy and replace, or you can say don't copy. Or you can say keep both files. Most often you just copy and replace. So we'll select this. And we'll go back to our web page, do an F5 for a refresh, and you can see now that our picture is in the right place. Also, if you mouse over, it will tell you the path. Notice the path has nothing in front of it. That means it's in the root folder. So let's do the same thing with Stick Hunter. Go back to your Windows Explorer. Go back to your temporary holding file, and here's Stick Hunter. And we're just going to click and drag Stick Hunter right into the root. Go back to our web page, do a refresh, and there's our stick header. Well, how about this one? We want the pug picture in the graphic folder. So here we're in dog and cat. So we're going to take pug, we're going to cut it, go into the graphics folder, and paste. We'll go back to our web page, do an F5 to refresh, and there's our pug. So I'm going to leave it for you to finish. Move in sad face, the goggle. Down here inside of the pet folder, you'll put the best friends forever, the BFF. In the cat, you'll put blanket, cat yawn, and white cat. And in the graphic pet dog, put on face off, smile, and frisbee. And when you're all done, each time you do that, you can check it with either F5 or Control R for refresh. And when you're all done, you'll have your files organized so your web page can view them. One last note is when you, let me go back to our root here. When you copy a file, it literally takes a copy and it puts it in the destination. When you move a file, it takes this original file and deletes it from here and puts it wherever you decide to move it to. So you need to determine if you want to have a second copy, then use copy. If you just want to move the file, then do that and you don't have so many extra copies. When you're all done, feel free to remove this directory dog cat, and if you're really sure that you don't need it anymore, you can remove this .zip file.